Okay, this is inspired by Kove. Okay, today we're going to be making a bass inspired by Kove's Ain't No Love. And I have to remind you once again about my Patreon, link in the description. Go check it out. And if you sign up in the next couple of days, you're going to get a bass sample pack and preset pack for Serum. It's not available anywhere else, and I hope you get a lot of value out of it. But let's get on with the episode. All right, so I'm going to cut between the original and my bass recreation. So it's just my bass. It's not a whole track, but I'll cut between the two and you can tell me how close I am on the bass itself. So I think it's pretty close, and I really like this bass because it uses one of my favorite filtering tricks. Let's copy the MIDI down here and we'll recreate this from scratch. So there's nothing on this channel now. Let's grab a Serum. So we just have a sawtooth at the moment. And yeah, what we want to start doing is we want to give some unison, obviously. And you can hear some phasing and how the sound is kind of off center. So I wanted to get rid of some of that. So bring the detune level down a bit and push the blend up a little. So there's still a bit of phasing, but the sound overall isn't as wobbly. It's pretty consistent. We can also give it just a straight out regular sub. So there's just a bit more bass to it. And obviously we know that it's going to be a low pass sound because it sounds so like low. So we can add a low pass. And it doesn't sound quite right. It's not quite rich enough. So this is one of my favorite tricks. Let's get this filter dialed in. So it's pushing that probably, what is it, 200 and something hertz? Yeah, 230 hertz. So the resonance creating a little bump in the frequency spectrum there. So it's a little more pronounced. You can tweak the resonance to give it even more presence there. Let's hop over to the FX. And so the trick with sounds like this, where they're super low and super rich, is to filter them multiple times. So that we've got our first filter on there already. Let's go with the same filter again. We'll give it just a tiny bit of resonance. If we push the drive a bit, so the dual filters are giving this two resonant peaks just offset from each other, and one's higher than the other, and they both kind of move around differently depending on which one's lower. If we turn off the first filter, you can really hear that like this first filter is creating more oomph in the lows. And from there, it's just really a matter of compressing it. Just to get a more consistent level out of it. Now, the other thing that I noticed on the original sound is that there's a bit of an LFO on one of the filters. It basically doesn't matter which one you choose. You can just kind of do it by ear. But you want to create just a subtle sense of movement. Because there's two filters, you're not actually adding much to the high end of the sound. You're just creating a little bit of like wobble in the mid-range, which keeps the sound more interesting to hear over and over again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's our sound. And so if I play that with the one that I made earlier, so aside from levels, those are basically the same thing. If I play the original tune and I just intercut it with the bass that I just made, you'll be able to hear how simple that bass really is. So there's other bass one-shots going on in the original, but they're just distorted copies of this that have been processed. Pretty easy to make those yourself. So that's how to make the bass from Kove Ain't No Love. All right, and that was inspired by Kove. I hope you liked it. Remember to check out my Patreon if you're into that thing. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button and check out the links in the description for all the other stuff that I've got going on. And thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I'll see you in the next one.